Yes, sir. What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy D Nolly, aka Don Squally, and we are back at it with another Forza Horizon 4 build video, man. The channel where we get hit as soon as we start our videos, and we're also taking your requests. So don't forget to let me know what you guys want to see down in the comments section, man. Before today's video, we have a request coming from a couple different people. Super YT iOS, Logan 7770, and Tree Rex Audi Official all want to see the Stradman's Lamborghini Aventador, man. Now, if you guys remember in our last video, we did the daily driven exotics. Murcielago, as you can see, that LP670. So I think it's only right to follow it up with yet another Lamborghini. Had some pretty good success with that last video. So what I think we're going to do is jump into the Lamborghini section here. Now, as you can see, only one option of the Aventador to choose from, the LP700. 2012. So we're going to go ahead and buy this car up, and I think we're going to start with a manufacturer color. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this car was red initially, so maybe we won't start with the manufacturer color. Well, we will in fact go ahead and paint this car up red. And obviously, now that we own the car, it's time to make a couple of modifications here. Now, first and foremost, we are going to go ahead and upgrade this car. Now, I'm not too sure. Never watched the Stradman's channel, you know, religiously. I have come across a couple of his older videos where it's just, you know, exhaust clips and stuff like that. However, I am going to do a couple of mods to this thing. Now, one of the things I'm not going to do is change the engine. I think the engine should be the way it came from factory. Now, I am, however, going to throw rear wheel drive conversion on this thing. Now, as far as I know, this thing is naturally aspirated stock. Does have an extremely loud exhaust, which we are going to get to in a minute. Aside from that, this car, there's not a whole lot going on. Pretty much stock wing. I know he was talking about doing the bumper delete, but I'm hoping that he doesn't go that route. I think this car looks really clean with all of the body panels. One thing you guys know me for, though, I am going to upgrade those tires. I mean, I'm just a big fan of driving and stopping and things of that nature. So I think the brakes are going to be a good option. Now, one thing I did notice is that this car does actually still have the stock wheels. Now, this build, from what I can tell, is still in progress. There might even be a few changes coming with the wrap. So if this car doesn't look exactly like it does in the future, I apologize. We're just trying to do what we can. From the pictures that I can see online, one thing I am going to go ahead and upgrade is going to be the suspension. I'm going to put a race spring and damper on this thing, and I don't think I'm going to make any adjustments as far as the ride height goes. You guys can see it did lower it just a little bit from installing the race springs, and I think it really makes this thing look amazing. Now, one thing that this car does have that I can confirm is going to be the exhaust. Now, from the videos that I've seen, this thing has a frequency intelligence exhaust, which has little baffles and stuff like that. But as you guys can see, we do not even have the option to change the exhaust on this car. So you can imagine Lamborghini from factory with an exhaust you can't even change, probably extremely loud. So to kind of mimic the exhaust here, I'm going to put on the intake and the intake manifold and throttle bodies, and hopefully that livens this thing up just a little bit, makes it a little bit louder, and I think that should be good. 41,000 credits, not too bad on a $250,000 car, I think, so could be worse, that's for sure. Next up comes the tuning. Now, gearing, everything like that, we really didn't change. The springs, as you can see, not completely maxed out. I'm going to leave the springs. Normally, I rice out, completely slam out my cars, but we're not going to do that in today's video. I would like to keep some drivability with this vehicle. I am, however, going to upgrade the differential since this is rear-wheel drive, and I am hoping to get a little bit sideways. Last but not least comes the designs and paints. Now, like I said, this thing currently has a matte purple wrap, no accents, stock black wheels, no wing, no body kit. So what we're gonna do for today's video is try to replicate that nice matte purple color that the Stradman has on this car. I think the best way to achieve that is to start with a matte finish, which is gonna be this color right here. Oh, we're painting just the hood. My apologies here, folks. We want to paint everything all together. There we go. Okay, so matte. The matte red here is where we're going to start, and then we are going to fine-tune the color here. Now, looking at pictures online, I think what I might almost do is go back and do the semi-gloss, because now that I'm looking closer at pictures, this isn't a full matte. This looks almost to be a semi-gloss finish. So I'm going to go ahead, find the purple that I think suits this build here. Looks to have a little more blue in it than I initially thought. And now I think I'm just going to fine-tune the color as far as the darkness goes. And I'm not going to lie, that is looking pretty close right there. So I'm going to go ahead, select that color, lock it in, and then we are, of course, going to tint those windows black so the haters can't see us. And that's pretty much the wrap from what I can tell so far. And I think we're just about ready to hit the road with this thing. Rear wheel drive Lamborghini, intake, throttle bodies, and of course it's raining. So this should be an interesting drive. I'm going to start out nice and easy here, just get the feel for this car. You can see that active aero wing popping up there. Now, one of the things that I'm noticing is the torque down low. I'm not sure if this is a V10. I believe it's a V10. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but a ton of torque down low. Now, to be honest, launching, I'm noticing most of the torque, most of the power coming in around 6 grand, but still spinning the tires down low in the RPM range. We're going to get out of the Horizon Festival here. Take this thing out onto the open road. Looks like it's stopped raining. It is a little bit wet on the ground, still a little bit slick, so we're still going to take it easy here. Traffic just all over the place. Hitting that red line very easily. Almost should have cammed this thing, to be honest, because I truly could use some extra RPMs right now. Handles great, brakes are really nice, firm. Didn't have the option to upgrade the brakes, which means that they're already fully upgraded from factory. I didn't look, but I think that means that we can adjust them. Oh, that's a nice little turn there coming into that tree line. I like that. Mountains off in the distance.
Arrived at your destination.
Great attention to detail with Forza. I've said that a million times. Each game just keeps getting better and better. Friends of mine, you know, that ask if I'm still doing these videos and playing Xbox and stuff like that, you know, obviously I tell them that I am. And I also, you know, try to point out that video games are not what they used to be. A lot of my friends stopped playing video games, you know, on PS3s and some of them even PS2s. And I mean, yeah, you know, understandably, you got things to do, not enough time for video games. But, you know, if you do have some time to kill nowadays, get yourself an Xbox One or a PS4. The graphics are like 100 times better than they used to be. Not just visually, but also the sound effects. You put on a nice headset and stuff like that, and you're in the zone as far as, you know, just being in the game. You know, 10 years ago, video games were just not the same attention to detail as they are now. And I did not even notice this road was winding the way that it was. This would have been a great road to drive had I not screwed it up. Now that I know it's winding, let's see if we can drift this thing, shall we? Oh, way too much power coming around that corner. Second gear, you really feel that power coming on around 5,000 RPMs. Try to hold on to her there. Now the thing about this car is the rear end that is super heavy with the end. Whoa, just missed a big friggin' crash there. With the engine being in the back, all the exhaust, you know, transmission, drivetrain, everything is in the back of this car. It really throws off the weight distribution. Now it is all-wheel drive, so there are some drive components in the front end of this car. I believe the fluids, a lot of the fluids are in the front end, like you know, washer fluid and other things like that. But yeah, the rear weight on this car, it's extremely heavy. So when you do get into the situation where it is, you know, actually the back end is whipping out, I think is what I'm trying to say. You know, you are in mid-drift. It is a little bit difficult to counter steer and power through that because the weight is so, it's such a big difference, you know what I mean? But nonetheless, this car, I gotta say, it's handling much better than I initially anticipated it to, especially with it being rear-wheel drive. I was expecting it just to be all over the place and handle like a bag of crap. But to be honest, it really doesn't, and it truly is. I feel like the rear-wheel drive really wakes the car up quite a bit, and it makes it more enjoyable and more of a thrill to drive, if I do say so. Just coasting through here, what I think I'm going to do is fast travel to an area that has some more rural sceneries. And as we often do around this time, pull over to get our thumbnail. It did start raining, which kind of sucks, but you know, it is the way that it goes sometimes when we're making these videos. But yeah, I'm thinking we are probably going to put an end to this video. I don't know the runtime on it after editing, hopefully getting around 10 minutes. But if you guys did enjoy this one, don't forget to smash that like button. If you guys want to see more and you're not subscribed yet, you guys know the drill, man. Also, don't forget to let me know down in the comments what you guys want to see next. Just trying to basically take the requests that I see more than once, sometimes more than twice, and do those, as you guys may have noticed already. But yeah, man. With that being said, I am your boy D Nally, aka Don Squally. We gonna catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace. Don't die. Oh shit, where you going, bro? Don't be creeping on my friend. Don't be creeping on my friend. You and your homie. Oh, nut shot. Nut shot. Oh, buddy. Let's go. And your boy, man. Get him out of here. Oh, fucking! Oh my God!